Welcome to the Business Hours podcast. For years, mobile marketers have been navigating a storm of signal loss, rising UA costs, CLA data, and an explosion of tools that promise growth but rarely deliver clarity. Now, with 2026 on the horizon and budgets tightening even further, one question keeps resurfacing. How do you drive confident, profitable app growth in the year ahead? In this App Talk special of the Business Hours podcast, David Murphy speaks with Eoin Hallahan, Chief Revenue Officer at SplitMetrics, about what mobile growth landscape is really demanding of teams as they prepare for 2026. Eoin lays out the new realities UA and ASO managers are facing: deeper signal loss, more channel fragmentation, and rising internal pressure to deliver results without expanding headcount. Let's dive in. Here is Eoin Hallahan, CRO at SplitMetrics.
Eoin, how are you doing, sir?
Hi, David. Good evening. Nice to meet you. Are you?
Yes, I'm very well, thank you. So, could we kick off with a quick introduction to the company, please?
Of course. So I would love to introduce everybody to SplitMetrics. So SplitMetrics is an app growth platform. Through our technology and through our team of mobile experts, we help our app customers to drive app growth and to grow profits. From a team point of view, we're over 160 mobile experts across 20 countries. And as I said, we're all focused on one mission, which is redefining app growth through innovation, through expert services, and through technology. I guess the three main channels or pillars that I would use to describe SplitMetrics and the products and the services we create are: first, we have a huge amount of time and emphasis on paid user acquisition, everything from helping customers to optimize and improve performance from existing channels to testing, scaling, and growing net new channels. The second pillar, I guess, through which we deliver app growth is App Store optimization. So it's all well and good making sure that you're optimizing your paid channels. You're letting yourself down if you're not also optimizing your App Store optimization, so your visibility in these mobile app stores. And then third is advanced and technical services. So in practical terms, this means everything from providing analytics and reporting and integrations to all the major ad networks and MMPs for our customers, and a full suite of expert services from growth strategy and campaign execution to creative design and production, and much, much more. Mobile app marketing is hard, and SplitMetrics exists to make it easy for our customers and to drive growth.
Sounds good. So we're going to take a bit of a deep dive into app growth today. So to kick us off, could you just give us a bit of a feel for what it's like for a UA or an ASO manager trying to grow their app today?
Yeah, of course. The biggest challenge for all of our customers today and everybody we speak to in the market is one of profitable, sustainable app growth. Gone are the days, and I think back a few years ago to during COVID, where it was almost growth at any cost. Budgets were somewhat unlimited. That has changed entirely. So nevertheless, everyone in a growth or marketing function in all of our app businesses and customers, everyone is eager to drive greater numbers of app downloads and increase profits for their business. What makes things a little bit more tricky for anyone in a mobile app growth role or an ASO role is that I would argue conditions today are more volatile and unpredictable than ever, with trends shifting all the time. On the one hand, we have increased and changing privacy regulations and signal loss. On the other hand, we have channel and tool fragmentation, whether you're running campaigns and efforts through Apple ads, through App Store optimization, through the large channels like Meta or TikTok or Google. All of this marketing data exists in a silo and makes life very difficult for user acquisition managers to correctly and efficiently connect the dots across paid and organic and ultimately drive performance. And last but not least, while the explosion of AI has created new possibilities, I would argue it's also created some confusion. Many tools simply are not designed to facilitate mobile app growth. They give you generic responses. They can distract you from what's actually happening. And ultimately, they can be disconnected from real-world marketing needs and workflows. So I would argue all of these things combined make life a little bit tricky. I guess finally, there's a few other trends and things that we're seeing emerge, David. We're seeing teams come under new sorts of pressure and bringing new requirements to the table. More and more, for example, we're speaking to marketing teams who are specifically looking for AI solutions and partners who can help them to optimize and increase their usage of AI to help them realize business growth. What's interesting here, Dave, is that often, even though they're interested in finding new AI solutions and finding partners to help them with this, they're often maybe a little bit prohibited or their hands are tied in terms of headcount growth. And again, this is back to this profitable growth side of things. So while all of these companies are fantastic and they have great ambition to drive performance and to test new channels, often the desire is not necessarily matched by their in-house ability, right? So again, having the means to actually execute on this is the thing. So at the end of the day, I guess, look, the job hasn't changed. Our customers want to grow and grow profitably and grow with confidence. But for all of the reasons mentioned before, the environment certainly has. And more marketers are telling us that they need a new way of working to try and keep up with this and try and meet these evolving needs. And I would say that's kind of, broadly speaking, I guess, some of the things that are top of mind for me.
So if we look at the stuff that goes on within the App Store, how different would you say the skill sets that are needed to run App Store optimization as opposed to Apple Ads? And how difficult is it to run both off a single dashboard?
Yeah, there is a slight difference, and there's definitely some nuances between the two. Occasionally, we find individuals and teams who do both under the one roof, but more and more we kind of see a slight separation. How I would kind of maybe in a nutshell differentiate the two would be, firstly, ASO or App Store optimization. It really focuses on long-term store visibility and conversion, while page UA, such as Apple Ads, it really demands real-time bidding and spend management. So really keeping up to speed with changes in the ecosystem, with competitors who are bidding on your terms and changing trends and needs. Running both well, however, while it can be challenging, I guess part of the reason why it can be challenging often is that many tools treat them separately and each demands a very different approach. However, either within teams or through technology partners, aligning your paid and your organic strategies isn't just efficient. I would say it's really necessary for maximum ROI in your campaigns. Having technology, having teams, or even having partners that can help you to do both, it really helps you to spot new trends, help you spot new threats, and execute on new opportunities.
Good stuff. So what is the solution that you developed to tackle this?
Yeah, so I guess in building something to attempt to tackle all of these challenges, we challenged ourselves with creating something that would provide our customers with clarity, with speed, and with profitability, all the while bridging the gap between insight and execution. And the solution that we created, David, is something called SplitMetrics Iris. SplitMetrics Iris is the very first AI agent purpose-built for Apple Ads and for ASO. We'd like everybody to think of Iris as as a strategist in your Slack workspace. You can ask a question in whatever language you speak, and Iris will give you context to where growth-focused recommendations in seconds. So how this differs, I guess, to how people would have worked with insight tools in the past is no longer is there a need to check 6 or 10 different tools or download reports or wait for a weekly sync with your data team or with your insights team. Iris lives where you already work, in the majority of cases Slack, and gives you instant clarity on your most important questions. This could be competitor related, this could be market related, this could be campaign related. And I guess Iris separates, we would say, from what actually matters from the noise. She takes complex market data and turns it into structured, simple, and clear action steps in seconds. So again, it's not just automation. We would say it is intelligent, it's adaptive, and it's ultimately accelerated, more effective decision-making for our customers.
So you mentioned questions. What are the sort of questions that people ask Iris?
For the most part, people seem to ask questions. We see the odd funny question coming through, but we won't share those. For the most part, the main types of questions fall into 3 main buckets. First, and by far the most, is everything about their competitors. People are competitor obsessed, and this is a no-brainer. It's a highly competitive industry, especially when we think of paid user acquisition channels. Questions and prompts are everything around what are my competitors doing in this market? What are my competitors doing overall? How much are they spending? Which keywords are they bidding on? Which competitors are bidding on my brand term? And everything else you can imagine like this. Because Iris is trained on, I guess, our proprietary SplitMetrics dataset with over 40 million keywords in over 2 million apps and market data from almost 100 storefronts, it gives answers that are far more specific and accurate than anything a general AI could deliver. As you might imagine, as we developed Iris, we extensively compared it to, more commonly used LLMs like Claude and Anthropic and Claude and everything else. Iris is far more specific and built on actual app data. So that's the key difference. The second bucket, I guess, is all about growth opportunities. So by far, as I said, the most common question is around competitors. The next most important question for our customers is around growth. Again, our marketers will ask questions to Iris like, where should I invest next? Which geo has untapped potential? How can I scale my campaigns more efficiently? What are my competitors doing in different markets? So again, this is again all about finding the edge and surfacing new markets, new opportunities, and fixing underperforming areas. Finally, I would say the third most common is about execution level support. So more hands-on, in the weeds questions. Again, something like, what keywords should I use for my campaign in Germany? Or can you help me rewrite this app store listing? Again, something very, very specific, more execution related. So again, not just about generating fluff or kind of nonsense responses. It aims to give marketers what they need to really take action and drive improvements.
Sounds like an incredible piece of kit. What does it mean in practice for ASO and UA managers to have this at their disposal?
Yeah, I guess in practice, it means faster insights, smarter execution, and I would say more profitable growth. Again, this is ultimately what we aim to deliver for our fantastic customers. Maybe if I talk about a few things maybe top of mind, the first would be speed. So AI slashes the time it takes to go from question to action. Instead of hours spent in dashboards or spreadsheets or meetings with your data and analytics and insights teams, our customers and our users of Iris get answers in seconds and right inside Slack. So again, whether this is understanding competitor strategies, finding untapped keywords, or spotting spend inefficiencies, the insight is genuinely instant. So gone are the days of hours, and more it's, again, proper answers and direction in seconds or minutes. The second would be results. So profitable growth is the goal. So Iris helps teams to increase return on ad spend without increasing spend. I guess what's important to note as well is that Iris is not our only AI agent. Another AI agent of SplitMetrics is something called SplitMetrics Samba. Samba exists and operates within our performance platform. So while on the one hand, we have Iris kind of giving you insights and direction in terms of what your competitors are doing, what you could be doing to drive performance, you then have Samba, which is kind of optimizing ad spend, which is allocating budgets, which is adding keywords, all of these things. So I would say the two of these things work in concert. And then I guess the third big thing, and this is what we're hearing, and I guess this is what's changing, is productivity. Manual work doesn't scale, and Iris automates all of this research. It flags issues and changes and trends in real time, and it continuously adapts. So your team can focus on strategy and hopefully not spend too much time buried in spreadsheets or clicking through reports. And again, this is a big shift. I guess we'd like to think that all of this compounds over time. So, faster cycles in terms of access to actionable data, better decisions, so you make fewer mistakes and you don't screw up as often, ultimately then leading to stronger results. And I guess why some of the positive responses we're really getting for customers around Iris, specifically for Apple Ads. Apple Ads is a fantastic channel and you can really deliver some fantastic growth. But safe to say the majority of the budget, and therefore the majority of time and attention from in-house marketing teams, is often given to Google, to Facebook, to TikTok. Again, these guys dominate in terms of your marketing mix. So that also puts pressure on people to spend enough time in really powerful channels like Apple Ads and others. And I would say this is a real value unlock. You don't have to spend hours and hours looking in Apple. Iris can give you this access and give you this time to value in seconds. And I think those are two big shifts, some really big changes.
So what's the secret sauce here, Eoin? What underpins all this? What makes Iris perform so well?
Yeah, and I think this is a key question. AI is everywhere now, David. Everywhere. Sometimes I think if you go to the supermarket, I'm waiting for the supermarket to put, supermarket.ai in its headline, right? Everything is an AI company now. So I think we need to be very careful. When we're bringing any technology to the market, and certainly when we're creating AI, it needs to be useful and it needs to be specific and it needs to be trustworthy. So I would say what sets Iris apart is quite simple. It's deep specialization, trusted data, and over a decade of domain expertise. AI is only as good as the data and the context it's built upon, and that's where the most generic tools fall short. As I mentioned before, on a daily basis, we're comparing the outputs and the quality of answers from Iris to all of the standard LLMs, so ChatGPT, Claude, everything else. ChatGPT and these LLMs were not trained on mobile growth signals. They don't understand the nuance of app marketing, and let alone the complexity of Apple Ads as a channel or App Store optimization as a subject or a topic. Iris is completely different. It's purpose-built for mobile marketers, trained specifically on the SplitMetrics dataset, again, which includes over 40 million keywords, 2 million apps, and almost 100 storefronts. Iris will be useless if you ask her to help you to plan your holiday or give you a recipe for a Russian salad or whatever it might be. Iris is bloody good when it comes to giving you clear direction on what you should be doing to scale and grow your apps in the app stores and paid channels, especially Apple Ads. And I guess, again, I will repeat, similar to the previous answer, Iris is increasingly trained in outcomes. Again, it works in concert with our SplitMetrics Samba model. So again, clear direction, clear insight, clear plan of action, and then Samba continuously optimizing and adjusting bids, budgets, and more to help you really capitalize and maximize performance. I guess that's it. Maybe just to one additional thing, and this is something that's really, really important to us. We're not just a pusher of AI. Again, when any customer works with any of my teams in SplitMetrics here, it is fantastic, I would argue, market-leading technology, but this is complemented by and facilitated by experts. So not alone will you as a customer, David, get access to our platforms and to our data, you'll also have a team of experts, again, over 160 people globally, backing you up, training you on how to use platforms, servicing you manually, managing some of your campaigns if necessary, and doing everything we can to help you to grow your app business. And I think that's the key thing. And I think I never see a world necessarily of AI taking over or making roles redundant. I'm very much in the camp of AI enhancing us and helping us to make decisions smarter and faster and helping us to test more proactively and helping us ultimately to do more. And that's very much the focus of ours.
Excellent. I wonder if you could just bring this to life for us a little bit with one or two examples of where Iris has helped an app improve its performance in the App Store.
Sure. We have two very recent kind of success stories. The first I would reference is from Flow, FLO. So Flow is a leading women's health app, and during a 7-day trial, Iris accelerated Flow's competitive research. It provided the Flow team with instant keyword strategy, bid suggestions, competitor insights, market trends, and moreover, Iris also helped them to group keywords by topic and display organic rankings and search popularity. And I guess in terms of feedback we've received from the user acquisition teams in Flow, it was very simple and very nice. Again, it just made quick and simple decisions and it made it easy for us to respond. And again, this is what we want, right? Again, people are looking for actionable insights that they can work with today. Again, the average user acquisition manager is really good at what they do. They just need trustworthy, reliable data in order to make confident decisions, and that's what Iris provided the Flow team. The second example I would give, in a slightly different category, comes from NordVPN, again, one of the global leaders in digital security. And their team used Iris to investigate sudden shifts in App Store optimization and paid performance. So using Iris, they were able to pinpoint the causes in seconds. So again, both teams, I guess, echoed a similar sentiment, maybe to wrap it up, is that Iris brought them clarity and speed at the moments they needed it most. So whether this was in a strategic session, mid-campaign, or during performance reviews, again, speed to insight, powerful insights, and then giving people the ability to act confidently afterwards. And I guess where Iris is so powerful, and again, this is where we're hoping to continue to build and iterate, is that it's real-time intelligence, it's purpose-built for mobile marketers, and it simplifies this complexity and speeds up these profitable decisions for our customers.
So just picking up on the last thing you said there, you talked about building and iterating. What's next for Iris? Are there any other developments in the pipeline?
Safe to say, we have many plans in place for developing Iris and making Iris even better. When we launched this AI agent at just the beginning of August, it was solely focused on Apple ads, and in just 1 month, we also integrated ASO-related data as well. Iris is continuously evolving and improving and will not stop. Our internal AI research and development teams have been dedicated exclusively to artificial intelligence since 2022, actually. And I think some of the other things that are top of mind in terms of changes that we'll probably see in the next few weeks will be integrating historical insights and data for Iris. So what that would mean, David, is you can look backwards to previous months, quarters, or years to try and understand trends or changes, and then compare them to what's happening today. So it kind of gives you historical context. The other thing that we're sprinting towards implementing is finding ways for customers to integrate and connect their SplitMetrics accounts and campaigns to Iris. So the easy example and basic example I would give you here of why this is important: if Iris is suggesting keywords, we want to make sure that Iris is suggesting net new keywords, learning exactly from what's happening in your campaigns in terms of the keywords you're choosing, as opposed to giving more of a generic grouping of keyword suggestions. Again, as I said, our UA managers and our customers are smart. They really know what they're doing. So again, we want them to save them even more time and not have to kind of cross-check any of these suggestions. The final thing I would say in terms of maybe the type of data that people are getting is what I would describe. We probably need to make changes soon around the format in terms of the outputs and how people are given the data. Some customers we know would rather get results in the form of graphs or charts. Other customers would love to get more kind of export capabilities where it's either automatically generated and sent to their emails each morning, or they can download it and add it to an Excel file if they're preparing a report for their CMO or for their board or whatever it might be. So yeah, I guess lots in the works, but that's all I'm allowed to share for now, so I better stop talking. But yeah, lots done and lots to do for sure.
Good stuff. Well, look, I'm just going to hit you with one last thing then, Owen. Sum all this up for us, if you would. Why do you feel that Iris represents such a huge change in how mobile marketing is done?
There's a few reasons. I guess the first is, I would argue, and hopefully this doesn't sound cheesy, but Iris doesn't just change what you do, it changes how you work. For well over a decade now, we've seen mobile marketers who have been forced into reactive workflows. They've been juggling disconnected dashboards. They've been analyzing fragmented signals and running manual competitor research. Again, Iris changes all of this. It flips the model entirely. Instead of dashboards, you get conversations. Instead of lagging indicators, you get proactive strategy and reports and prompts. And instead of guesswork, again, you get clarity instantly. And not just clarity, it's clarity built on millions of keywords, 10 years of marketing-specific context data. So I would argue this isn't just automation, it's a new operating system for mobile growth. We think that's the biggest thing. Iris, again, SplitMetrics Iris is an agent built to work with you. It speaks your language, it understands your category, it adapts to your KPIs and delivers strategy level recommendations. And our mission is simple, I'll repeat, similar to what I said at the start. It's to make sure our clients aren't just keeping up, it's that they're leading. We're in the business of growing apps and helping our customers to scale and grow profitably. And hopefully Iris is another key ingredient in our journey to execute on that goal.
Excellent. Owen, thanks for sharing all that with us. It's been great talking to you.
Okay. Thank you very much, David. Lovely speaking to you.
And to you. So that's it for this chat on app growth with Eoin Hallahan from SplitMetrics, ladies and gents. Hope you've enjoyed it, and we'll see you again very soon.
And that was the episode 251, Solving App Growth Complexity with AI, featuring the App Talk interview with Eoin Hallahan, CRO at SplitMetrics. To listen to more episodes, by now we have more than 250 to check out. Subscribe to our podcast on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, YouTube podcasts. Just search for Business of Apps and you will find us easily. Remember, we release episodes on Mondays, so subscribe and you will be able to get new episodes on your smartphone, tablet, or computer as soon as we release them. And please don't forget to leave us a review or comment on iTunes. It is highly appreciated. And all episodes will also be available on businessofapps.com. Thank you for listening. See you next week.